Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
David is already the subject of a thorough inquiry after his ex's death. She was found in his car after going missing for over a year. This was sparked by a video of him and his current girlfriend that went viral online. But there's more to this story, and David may end up in more than just handcuffs. Let's get started. The startling revelation. The internet didn't just react to the September 17th, 2025 news. It went into overdrive. The headline that went viral on Reddit, X, TikTok, and all the other major platforms around the country sounded like it was lifted straight out of a crime drama. In the confiscated Tesla, the decaying body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas was found. The finding of a body was not the only thing that lifted this tale above the level of another Hollywood tragedy. Millions of fans are more familiar with David Anthony Burke as the singer David. It was the identity of the victim and the fact that, within hours, online users began to draw links that had not yet been established by the mainstream media. They were enraged and discussing topics beyond the case they were accusing. Eventually, the word groomer, not music, was the reason David's name wasn't trending. Social media timelines were immediately flooded with anger, confusion, and contempt. Using previous fan edits, creators combined news clips from ABC7 and other sources about TikTok David's performances, contrasting the graphic reality of a body being taken from his Tesla with the innocent image of a young performer on stage. The cognitive dissonance fueled outrage, and Reddit was taken over by armchair detectives. The tone was well expressed in one statement. Users debated timeframes, compared alleged images of discord, and scrutinized David's lyrics for any concealed references to relationships between minors in threads like our Pop the Heads. The internet had already made the decision, and it seemed as if we were seeing the actual formation of a star while watching it rise in real time. Although detectives insisted that David had not been named as a suspect, the online decision was made in a hurry. The betrayal was especially terrible for David, whose work had been heavily reliant on the internet. He was a young guy when his breakthrough song, Romantic Homicide, went viral on TikTok in 2022. He built a fan base by writing songs for a worldwide famous person in his bedroom. He was the antithesis of a manufactured pop star, as he was real, open, and approachable. This online familiarity, nevertheless, backfired the moment Celeste's identity was made public. Once awash with heart emojis, his Instagram posts were now overwhelmed with comments calling him a predator, a monster, and worse. Previously adoring and devoted fans now flooded comment areas with accusations. In many ways, this was more than simply a celebrity being manipulated by the internet. The internet was taking revenge on its own creation. The speculation soon outweighed the evidence. Although major media outlets like NBC News and Rolling Stone continued to publish police-confirmed stories that a decaying body was found in David's Tesla and ultimately identified as Celeste, online groups continued to display more gruesome photographs. Others, echoing even law enforcement's concerns, claimed the body was deliberately planted to implicate David, while others claimed that the Tesla was left in the Hollywood Hills for months because David was trying to destroy evidence.
There's always a possibility here, right, that perhaps that person who did this, right, wanted the body to be found, and whether or not there is a situation where they wanted to throw suspicion on him.
A stronger narrative that the relationship between Celeste and David, the enigmatic man her mother had worried about, was irrefutable overshadowed this hypothesis. The story's most remarkable aspect is how quickly the fury spread. The alarming yet ambiguous headline on September 8th announced that a decomposing body had been found in a Tesla in Los Angeles. However, after authorities verified on September 17th that Celeste Rivas was the victim and that David was the owner of the Tesla, his name became the most popular trending topic on X in less than 2 hours. TikTok was already flooded with videos accusing David of grooming when NBC Los Angeles revealed that Celeste's body had been identified by her tattoo. Indignation wasn't merely growing, the situation was becoming worse, and the rage became more intense with each new allegation, post, or clip. It's easy to lose sight of the person at the core of this turbulent situation. A 14-year-old girl from Lake Elsinore, California, named Celeste Rivas, lost her life way too soon. Celeste's mother had long informed detectives that prior to her disappearance in April 2024, Celeste had been seeing a man named David. When it was revealed that Celeste was the body in the Tesla, that connection became terrifyingly obvious. According to Fox LA, A tattoo that read "Esh" on her index finger was one of the crucial pieces of information that verified her identification. In the near future, that tattoo would become symbolic. People started comparing it to David's own finger tattoo online by sharing side-by-side photos. For many, it was obvious what was implied. David and Celeste had known each other before. Nobody had realized how they were related. Furthermore, the internet declared that any romantic connection was not only improper, but even predatory. There were instant repercussions. In the hours following the disclosure, companies started cutting connections. The New York Post claims that since they didn't want to jeopardize their family-friendly image, Hollister and Crocs cancelled their marketing campaigns that featured him. Then came the cancellations of concerts. On the same day that Celeste's name was made public, his Seattle performance was abruptly cancelled. It's unclear what will happen to his Greek theater concert in Los Angeles. Streaming services also started to mirror the criticism. In a single day, plays of his breakthrough song Romantic Homicide fell by about 15%, as PopSpoken noted. His digital momentum might be destroyed if curators comply with the demands of irate users who are already demanding playlist deletions. In summary, the internet, not a court decision, is to blame for David's once unstoppable career now in freefall. Investigators emphasize that David's involvement is not proven by the Tesla's registration, even though police have not charged him. Nuance is not tolerated at all on the internet. Many people don't think that the case is about what the detectives can prove in court. It has to do with what they perceive to be a clear, unsettling trend. According to reports, a young man in his late teens is pursuing a lady who is hardly in her teens. The tattoo, the purported Discord chats, and the pictures have all served as supporting evidence for the theory that David cultivated Celeste and that her untimely demise was connected to that exploitation. This story, fair or not, is now inextricably linked to his name. David's reputation had completely collapsed by 2025, by the time the sun fell on September 17th. Millions of people on the internet no longer saw him as a promising R&B performer. He was a liar, groomer, and predator. Furthermore, the fury only intensifies as more purported evidence, whether authentic or fake, leaks out. It is no longer a matter of whether his career will endure. It concerns whether or not Celeste Rivas's shadow will ever be lifted when his name is spoken. The accusations of grooming. Millions of people on the internet claim that screenshots, tattoos, pictures, and timelines that, when combined, reveal a troubling secret relationship between 14-year-old Celeste Rivas and 20-year-old singer David are the evidence that sparked the outcry. This was not another heartbreaking tale of a teen's passing. For the internet, it turned into a tale of grooming and predation. Discord discussions that were leaked were the first and most damaging component. As early as 2022, screenshots of David and Celeste's interactions appeared online, according to reports from the Hindustan Times. Celeste was only 12 at the time. David was already starting to establish himself in the internet music scene at the age of 17. Viewers were shocked by the flirty familiarity of the conversations, despite their non-sexual tone. According to the screenshots, the discussions had changed by 2023. Celeste appeared to communicate with him frequently, even though she was just 13 or 14. Many of the phrases that were leaked alluded to inside jokes, late-night discussions, and the kind of close-knit online connection that frequently comes before more. These discussions stoked accusations of grooming, the gradual, deceptive development of a youngster for the aim of emotional or sexual exploitation on the internet. The screenshots were difficult to reject because they supported Celeste's mother's allegation that her daughter had been seeing someone named David, even if some questioned their authenticity. However, there were other details that incited fury besides the Discord disclosures. One of the primary identifiers of Celeste's remains, as confirmed by officials on September 17th, was a tattoo on her finger that read, "Shash." Fox LA reports that the tattoo was essential to confirming the body. Fans quickly noticed when pictures of David were discovered online. He has a tattoo of a similar ash on his own finger. All of a sudden, a peculiar personal tattoo turned into a possible sign of their bond. It was a terrifying inference for many. After all, tattoos are frequently quite private and symbolic of closeness or secrets. Images of the tattoos side by side went viral on TikTok with comments like, "This wasn't a coincidence. This wasn't a coincidence." In an echo of the unhealthy power dynamics that are common in grooming cases, some speculated that Celeste got hers as a sign of loyalty to him, while others saw it as a mark of ownership. The tattoo, for better or worse, became one of the most widely circulated pieces of alleged evidence in the case. Soon after, photos appeared to show David and Celeste together, sometimes wearing matching outfits, including one that was reported by Times Now News and showed the two wearing Hello Kitty-themed clothing. This was the tipping point for fans, as what had seemed like a far-flung rumor suddenly had visual evidence. Another purported photo of them smiling together in what appeared to be a casual setting circulated. And whether it was real or not, it was enough to convince many that the relationship was real and not just online. The simple math was the most potent of all the factors that drive fury. Celeste was 12 years old in 2022, 13 in 2023, and 14 in 2024, the year she vanished. David, on the other hand, was 17 in 2022, 18 in 2023, and 19 in 2024. When her body was found in 2025, he was 20. The power disparity was evident even in the early days of their purported relationship. By the time she went missing, he was a signed artist via Interscope, touring the nation while she was still a freshman in high school. The legal situation is equally concerning because in California, the age of consent is 18, meaning that even if David and Celeste had a consensual sexual relationship, the law would consider it statutory rape under Penal Code Section 261. 5. Fans started going through David's lyrics in retrospect, looking for hidden meanings. Songs that had previously sounded like typical heartbreak ballads now had sinister undertones. His viral breakthrough hit, Romantic Homicide, became the main focus. Lyrics about longing, death, and heartbreak were suddenly being reframed through the lens of Celeste's death. 5. The mere suggestion of intimacy, whether confirmed or not, was enough to infuriate the public. Possibly the most disturbing detail came from Celeste's own mother. On TikTok, edits spliced the song with news reports about her body being found in his Tesla, creating a chilling juxtaposition. Was it a coincidence? Was it art imitating life? Or was it, as some users claimed, a dark confession hiding in plain sight? The debate became another source of outrage. She told investigators that her daughter had been dating a man named David prior to her disappearance, but she didn't know who he was at the time. The internet didn't connect until her daughter's body was discovered in a Tesla that belonged to David Anthony Burke. This wasn't just a coincidence, though. It was confirmation. All of this tied Celeste to David in a way that made the accusations of grooming seem indisputable. The emotional response was intense. David wasn't just another star. He was a person to whom people could relate. He based his career on intimacy, writing tender, sorrowful songs about longing and vulnerability. Finding out that this same artist might have been covertly grooming a young girl felt like a betrayal of that trust because his fan base wasn't just listening. They were confiding, relating, and emotionally investing in him. One fan wrote on Reddit, "We defended him, streamed him, loved his music, and all this time, he might have been hiding the ugliest truth imaginable." Creators combined old performance footage of him on TikTok and captioned it, saying things like, "This man was singing to thousands while hiding a secret like that." The crime alone did not cause the fury. It has to do with the betrayal of an emotional connection. It hardly matters what investigators prove or don't prove at this point. The label has already become ingrained online. In the eyes of the public, David is a groomer. The date, the images, the tattoo, and the purported Discord messages, even if some of them are unconfirmed, create a story that is too compelling for subtlety. And that's the horrible truth of the digital era. Scandals. Perception is more rapid than facts. The damage is already done when the truth is revealed. Rumors and theories. The romantic lives of celebrities have always captivated people in every musical era. From Olivia Rodrigo to Justin Bieber to the Beatles, fans are curious about the secret romances of their favorite artists who inspired the songs and who they are dating, obscuring the tunes. Romantic Homicide, a Gen Z artist's breakthrough single, launched David into prominence on TikTok. So was this interest. Fans did not merely listen to his songs. Every lyric, Instagram post, and brief exchange was examined, deconstructed, and examined for hints about his private life. Even before Celeste Rivas's name was known, or her body was discovered in his Tesla, there were already a lot of theories circulating online about the person the enigmatic David might be seeing. David maintained a low profile in his personal life. In contrast to many artists who show off their relationships in public, he avoided being pictured with partners, talked about girlfriends infrequently, and never openly acknowledged being in a committed relationship. Ironically, supporters were more determined to find out why there was quiet. On X posts, Reddit conversations, and TikTok edits, speculation was rife. Fans said he was seeing a model. A fan turned over, according to others. There were still those who thought he was secretly seeing someone out of the public eye. As his notoriety grew, the desire for answers intensified. Listeners started transferring their personal experiences onto his music in 2023, as Here With Me and other songs became popular. All amorous lyrics were examined for hints of a secret love affair. David's purported girlfriend was the subject of complex theories developed by Reddit fan communities in the months before Celeste's identification. He was romantically associated with another artist, according to certain rumors. Others believed that in order to maintain the appearance of being accessible to followers, he was concealing a relationship. Some even claimed that his mysterious disappearances from social media matched up with secret getaways with a partner. For months, the narrative was one of playful curiosity, fun, and romance. TikTok edits paired lyrics like, "I hate all the silence," with blurry paparazzi shots, claiming they revealed a secret muse. Millions of young listeners saw David as more than just a singer. He was their singer. His vulnerability in songs like Romantic Homicide and Here With Me made fans feel as though they were inside his head, sharing his heartbreak and his longings. However, that intimacy came with an expectation. If he was writing about love, they wanted to know who it was about. This obsession highlights the parasocial nature of contemporary fandom. What made September 17th so devastating was that fans rejected the mystery because they wanted a face, a name, and a story that matched the lyrics. They wanted a star-crossed romance, not scandal. And when there were rumors that he was seeing someone younger, they brushed it off because it didn't fit the story they had built about him. Fans felt like they had been unwittingly complicit in the betrayal. And the internet had to reconcile two contradictory realities when media outlets like NBC Los Angeles confirmed that the decomposed body was that of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas. For months, they had been speculating about his mysterious girlfriend, who turned out to be a teenage girl who had disappeared more than a year earlier. Rather than a model or muse, we thought he was hiding romance. He was hiding a crime. Fans immediately re-examined his music, and lyrics that once sounded poetic suddenly felt incriminating. On TikTok, one viral video summed up the celebration of love songs that, if the allegations were true, were inspired by a deeply inappropriate relationship. There is no official evidence to support these claims, but in the flurry of online outrage, rumors don't need proof. The reinterpretations spread quickly, with creators overlaying his lyrics on crime scene photos, mugshot memes, and even side-by-side edits of Celeste's tattoo and his own. Another layer of speculation emerged that David might have had multiple secret relationships, with some fans claiming that the Discord leaks didn't show just one girl, but hinted at multiple young fans he might have been messaging. The Tesla wasn't the only vehicle he used, and Celeste might not have been the only victim of grooming. They only need one possibility, and that possibility was sufficient to further darken the story. By the time all these theories came together, shock had turned into rage, and fans felt duped, critics felt vindicated, and regular people who had never heard of David before joined the chorus of indignation. The music industry itself was another source of the betrayal. Fans wanted to know if his label, Interscope, was aware of it, if managers, producers, or tour staff had any suspicions, and if theories about a secret romance had suddenly turned into proof of grooming. What had started out as light-hearted conjecture had turned into a case study in horror. Fans started speculating that industry insiders had shielded him or turned a blind eye to protect their investment. And whether or not that story was true, it only fueled more outrage. The label's ambiguous statement about cooperating with investigators was all that was released. It was a betrayal by a whole system. The epiphany was personal for many fans, who had identified with David's songs, found solace in his lyrics during breakups, and felt validated by his depiction of loneliness. Now those same songs seem perverted. The parasocial bond, once so strong, had curdled into hatred. And even weeks after the revelation, some fans removed his music from playlists. Others posted videos of burning merchandise or tearing up posters. And every stream felt like a complicity. Every lyric felt tainted. Some say he was framed. Some say there are more victims. And some think Celeste was merely his tragically ended secret love. But none of these hypotheses are verified. However, the internet doesn't rely on confirmation. It relies on momentum. Additionally, the momentum has portrayed David as a predator who whose career was based on lies and secrecy. The tragedy of Celeste Rivas is not just about one victim and one artist. Rather, it is about what happens when fandom, parasocial relationships, and secrecy collide. Fans mistakenly believed they were solving a trivial puzzle about a celebrity's romantic life, but they were actually circling a crime scene. The internet's once playful curiosity turned into rage. In the end, the story of David's love life is one of the most terrifying turns in recent music history. What started as innocent fan theories? Who is he dating? What is the story behind his songs that ended with a decomposed teenage body found in his Tesla? The rumors about romance turned into rumors about crime. The hidden girlfriend turned into a missing child. And the fans who once praised him online turned into the very force pulling him down. The whispers about his girlfriend eventually turned into grooming accusations. And the conjecture about his lyrics now plays like an inadvertent confession. The internet has already proven that he is guilty, and for millions of people, the betrayal is too great to overlook. Thank you for seeing this video. If you would like to see more intriguing videos like this one, click on one of the boxes on your screen immediately.